This is the Bronx Project Podcast. I'm your host, Mirez.
And I'm your host, Earl Grey.
And with us today, we have a special guest.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jashi, rapper from the Bronx. Check out my music at Jashi the Yeti at soundcloud.com. What's going on, guys?
Damn, already promoting yourself?
And we're done here.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Let's get out of
Shameless
here. Really, really glad you're here, honestly. Wouldn't think you make it. Probably thought like some shit came up.
Some rapper stuff came up.
Yeah.
Probably doing rapper stuff. He's too.
I mean, you so busy, man.
It took longer because I would because Marcos. I would stop recording for a little bit because Marcos was on his way. So we were like, "Yo, wait till he gets here," because I wanted his ear on the stuff I was gonna record.
Good.
It took a little bit longer, and instead of 6, it was like 7:30.
By the way, Marcos is like recording us right now. So this is he's a filmmaker extraordinaire.
Yeah.
You want to introduce yourself from like that far?
From a distance?
But yeah,
I wasn't prepared.
But yeah,
why don't you guys talk about how you know each other for a bit?
For like forever. I think middle school. I think all of us know each.
Middle school, yeah.
We knew everybody here from middle school.
We both had the same first name, so like we instantly vibed off that.
Yeah,
it's like we started being into the same music and shit, and like we weren't into like anime and comics and shit, but we still like talked and like hung out after school because we lived across from each other.
Bro, I remember in middle school they never even called us by Josh.
Yeah, we were last name basis. Last name, bro. That's why in high school people started calling me Josh. So I was like, word, finally. Like I hated being called Toledo for like 3 straight.
Well, first of all, it took a while because I remember high school started, and actually Marcos and I went to the same high school campus. Not the same high school.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was like Kelvin, Jason, all those guys.
Yeah, a bunch of guys that we went to high school with. Anyways, I remember he was like, "Oh, bro, Valentine." I'm like,
call me Josh here, man.
Call Josh, bro. There's only 2 of us now.
Jason still does that. Jason would be like, no matter how many years I've known you, I'm still gonna call you Toledo. And I'm like,
but I like that. Like I have people call me Mirez. Because I don't like my first name at all. Like at all. And I don't know about y'all, but like anytime I don't know. I'm not trying to talk shit about your name.
No, go.
Josh is kind of a basic because Steven's a basic ass name, and I hated that shit growing up. I was like, don't call me that.
Man, I hated being called Jashi.
Yeah,
that's my rapper name. You know
full
circle,
bro. Jashi is what girls call me. Yeah? Literally, it's like, oh, Jashi. I'm like, Jashi.
Don't do that. Yeah,
it's true.
It's
though.
like it is. I just hate it just because like it made me feel like a baby. Like you know what I mean? Like some shit like that.
I feel you.
I don't know. When I was a baby, I was like niggas would call you like shorty. Like it'd be like, yo, you was a kid, but like shorty would you call a girl, so why would you call a kid shorty? Like I never liked that.
I guess it's height basis. It's like regardless.
Yeah, but it's like yo, call me like I'm still.
Is it shorty or shorty?
It's shorty. It'd be like yo, shorty because you were short. You were a kid.
Shorty. You call a kid.
Barbers used to say that shit.
I've never had an English speaking barber in my life. I mean, I don't need one now. I'm bald. I don't give a shit.
I don't think I've ever had an English speaking barber either.
No,
all my barbers is Dominican.
Bro, I remember going to the barber back when I had hair. This was like years ago.
If you even speak to me in English, I'm leaving this chair. I'm like, no.
Bro, when they spoke to me in English, I'm like, bro, I can't understand you. Please.
Tú no sabes qué estás haciendo.
You know what's crazy? I think the worst barber I've had was white.
Yeah?
Really?
I've never gotten my hair cut by a white man.
When I went to college,
fingers crossed.
It wasn't
Jesus,
much hair, bro. Yo, son, like he cut like everything else was fine, but then when he shaped my shit up, there was like at least 8 cuts right here.
Really?
Yeah, bro. And I didn't notice it until I got home, and I was like, man,
were you trying to get a fade from a white guy?
If I was, I swear, if I was a different dude, I probably went up there and slapped the shit out of that dude. Because that nigga, like, yo, it was scarred. Like I'm telling you, it had like you don't see it now.
I'm mad at you. You try to get a fade,
homie. It was on Swigo.
From a white guy.
Swigo, what do you want?
What's
now? Like my barber now is like almost all pretty much like both of my barbers are Jamaican. And they hook my shit.
There you go. Most of my barbers are just me in the bathroom every Sunday.
Eyebrows on fleek.
And I just like stay in the bathroom like, whoop, I'm done.
Nah, I got the same barber, and his name is What the Fuck. but in Spanish, so his name is Watafo. I'm dead ass.
That's the contact name.
Hey, what the fuck?
I have him saved as Barber Watafo.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
He got a catchphase and everything. I'm jealous of him.
He must be really like.
You walk into the barbershop and I'm like, yo,
his own,
what the
nickname.
fuck? And he's like, en la casa. Every time.
Man, if I had hair, that would be my. I'll go to him every day. I don't even have hair.
Just for him to hype you up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. What the fuck? I'm like, I'm going to work. Thank
I
you.
am in this shit.
I'm gonna have a productive day.
Get them
Thank
dollars.
you.
Get them dollars.
He's like, you need any work now? Nah, I'm good. I'm leaving. But thanks for the energy.
Thanks for the energy.
But yeah, yep. We're recording here in the Bronx, obviously. Different setting, I'd say.
Yeah,
Different setting.
We're not in Josh's room.
No, we're in Josh's mom's place because it's bigger.
It's nicer too.
It's a lot nicer here. I always
of-
think my mom has like the best decorating skills. It's very brown, I guess.
No, but it goes well with the walls.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess it goes really well with the walls.
Get into my interior decorator bag for a second.
Like I love the feng shui.
Yeah, it all just goes.
My
It
feng
all
shui
blends
bag.
together so well.
It does. Anyways, beer of the week.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a different beer of the week. Normally, for those of you who are new here, every week we record, we review a different beer.
Yeah.
And we have our B rating system.
Yeah, which we like pretty much B-rate beer.
For this week though, we have Modelo, which we've reviewed before.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh is not drinking.
We're the only ones drinking, as usual.
I spent a good amount of time doing it, and I'm just over it, I guess, right now. You know what I mean? If I'm out and about, like I'll have like maybe a beer or like a mixed drink or whatever. But it's never like I'm never like, man, I want to get drunk right now. You know
I literally
some shit.
only drink beers on Sundays when I'm recording the podcast. I'm not really into drinking like that.
Literally.
I don't like being drunk for motherfuckers.
It's just like
Actually, we discussed that in our last episode.
Yeah.
How like drinking, it's not fun being drunk, and we agree with that completely. Like we both discussed, like we only drink once per week, and
I
it's
feel
literally
like
on the podcast.
I feel like it's fun if you're in a social environment, but then the moment you start heading home, it's like life just wants to come at you all at once.
Yeah, especially like when you take the
if you
train,
drink too
you're
much,
going
you're
back home.
sweating.
Yeah.
Or
you take a
I
cab.
sweat normally. I don't want to sweat extra.
I remember this one time I took a cab and I had to like put my head out the window because I was like, I'm gonna throw up, bro. Just keep driving. But I'm not getting that Uber fucking fee. I know you drive, so you don't know about the Uber fee.
No.
If you throw up in the car, they
Really?
charge you like an entire arm and leg.
If
Damn,
you
I mean,
Yeah, if you throw
I've
up.
never had that. Shit is crazy.
you,
Yeah.
you gotta clean it up. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll charge you
I'll
half
be.
and
I
get
would
it
charge. I'm
clean.
gonna charge you at least $20 more, bro.
Nah, it's like 60, 70.
Oh, I would tell a nigga. Leave me.
I mean, as a drunk person, I'm like, fucking take it.
crazy, bro.
I don't give a shit.
That's a PS4 game.
And apparently-
I'm not giving you Monster Hunter to clean up my fucking shit.
That's my shit too, Monster Hunter.
That's it. You got,
I got
you got Mirror's mad hype right now.
I'm tight because I got into it late.
I fuck up over Thalos. Don't play with me.
Dead ass.
I got the game and I played it for like a week, and I'm like, yo, this is such a good game. But then I like stopped.
Right.
Like everything I do in life.
That's the kind of
Stop.
game. It's like
for music, right?
when Skyrim came out, like that took over my life in a way that only Monster Hunter, Skyrim, and I think BioShock can do.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I feel
Yeah.
you. Bro, I got lost in Skyrim, but like, that's just video game, man.
You don't remember when the third BioShock came out though?
Yeah, I remember. You lend it to me. You're like, bro,
Try this shit.
play this shit.
Yeah, I need you to.
I need you to.
Yeah.
And then like,
My only regret.
Joe over there, he's itching. He's like, I love BioShock.
But did you play God of War though?
I played the new one.
I was an Xbox guy, so I couldn't.
I played the new one.
I know, bro. I see the disappointment in your eyes.
When I was telling you got disappointment in my eyes.
When I was telling you, I heard you hope. I hope
Because-
you heard the disappointment in my
It's
voice.
a massive. It's not massive. It's a huge gaming achievement.
Yeah.
Like that shit.
I seen the new one with
It's
his
just-
son and everything.
Yeah, dude. It's.
What, have you
amazing.
played a new one?
Have I played the new?
I'm asking.
Of course.
What do you
Of
mean?
course,
Have
I
played
played,
it?
dude. I'm playing it hard. Like it's good, man.
Did you finish it?
I could. Yeah, I beat the whole thing.
Same.
It's just so good, man. Like
I keep telling
the
people,
story
man.
is so
Yes.
good. How they tie it into the mythology. How they
Yes.
like make Kratos like a part of the world. It's just
Bro, they
everything. It's literally like
infused it.
they looked at the games that they had and all the games, and they were like, how can we make this better? And they just did it without any roadblocks or anything. It was literally just like, oh, we're gonna add the story about his son. Oh, we're gonna add open world. Oh, we're gonna add this new game fight mechanic.
It's open world.
Yeah, man.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a fixed open world, but it's still open world. There's different realms you can go to.
It's open world, and also it's based off of Nordic mythology.
Yeah. And it's awesome the way they do it. They make the gods there seem way worse than the Greek gods. Like,
yeah,
they talk about them. And you always get like you carry around like this like head, and he always like tells you story. Like he gives you the mythology stories and shit.
Yeah, you're laying off, so you gotta buy a PS4.
Yeah,
or
man, something. Call it God of War machine. That's it. That's the
I want to burn my Xbox just for no reason at all. But I play 2K a lot. Like I'm a huge basketball guy.
I play 2K too a lot.
I play. I'm not good at it, but I play.
No, I'm honestly, I better be good at it. By this point, I better fucking be good at it.
I got C's for the chip. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I got Celtics for the chip. That's all I'm saying.
I can't listen.
It's not even. It's not.
I like the Celtics team.
Me too.
I cannot root for a Boston team. I can't do it.
Same.
I can't do it. I'm a New Yorker.
It's the Bronx Project.
Yeah, this ain't the fucking Massachusetts Project.
Boston. Welcome to the Boston Project.
My man's. Oh fuck. What's his
Tatum?
No.
Name all of them.
The coach.
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens. Yeah. I'm tired. I came up with blank on that nigga.
God damn.
He's that dude. He's the reason, he's literally the sole. Him and Jason Tatum are the sole reason, like, those motherfuckers made it that far.
And listen, I'm a huge Greg Popovich fan. Brad Stevens might be the next guy. Like, he might be the next best coach in the league.
I'm telling you, bro.
I hate that.
Because I think if Kyrie comes back, they'll be alright, bro.
They will be.
They needed him. They needed him to win that game 7.
Yeah.
If he was there, I feel like they would have.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
They're gonna be in the finals
During the playoffs. I was actually rooting for the Celtics, and I know, like inside of me, I was like, oh,
because they were young and they were doing it. But I really feel like
they're young and they got all that grit. It's like it reminded me of the Knicks.
And Jason Tatum is a young Kobe, man.
Nah, I tell you this,
a young bean.
I don't like Boston. I don't like Philadelphia. I don't like Chicago, right? No, obviously, because I'm a Knicks. No. It's because I'm a Knicks fan. I also don't like the Pacers because fuck them. Because I'm a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah,
I was rooting
up to the heart right now.
I was rooting for the Celtics over the 76ers. Just because I feel like if Embiid was in my team, I would love him. Because he's not, I hate him. Because like a small part of me thinks he's better than KP.
You might be right,
but I think KP, like if you put KP on the Celtics, he's the best player on the Celtics. I don't think that's even a conversation.
Like, all I have to say is that I was rooting for them and it hurt my heart heavy. But it's like I wanted them to win so hard. Anyways,
they're gonna make it to the finals this year, and then they're gonna get like ass fucked by the Warriors, because it's hard not to get ass fucked by the Warriors.
That's the Warriors. They ass fuck. That's their job.
It's what we do.
That's in the resume. It's like, so what do?
We ball and we ass fuck.
Exactly.
Ball and we ass fuck. we get really like nice haircuts. And we ball and we
it's like the Spartans. What is your profession? Ass fuck. I love that. Anyways, that's a beer of the week. But
to get a little more serious, because this is a more music-oriented podcast episode, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Astroworld. Astroworld came out.
Yes, it did.
I want to ask Jashi first. How do you feel about Astroworld? How do you feel about Travis Scott?
I think it's just. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I like certain Travis Scott songs, but it's not like I was like OD like a Travis Scott fan.
Right.
But I liked like the Astroworld stuff he was doing. Like I like the song Watch when it came out. Like I liked how like he did like the taping.
Yeah.
The kid from This Is the Last Time. I thought it was like, it was cool to me. And like, and then like, it was giving me visuals of how like he wanted, what he was going to do with it. And then he came out with the trailer. I don't know if you saw the trailer for it.
I didn't see the trailer. No.
It's really good. Like it's always good when artists do more stuff than just music for their music.
Yeah,
and it was just good. Like it was cool. It was like a more of like a dystopian. It looked more like a dystopian like Astroworld like that he was thinking about. And then I listened to the album and I'm like, it's exactly how I feel like it would sound. But it's like stadium music, like, you know what I mean? If you listen to your headphones, you might like rock with it and like, you know what I mean? But if it's in a stadium, you're gonna be lit. Blown away. You're gonna be going ham. Like if you pop whatever, do whatever, or even if you just go in there just to like it's gonna be. I think it's a really good album.
I remember because we were talking about it yesterday on
No Bystander, the one like the hidden.
And you were like, "Yo, what about Bystanders?"
No Bystanders.
And I haven't got that far.
Bro,
like the fuck you talking about?
Bystanders is so good.
It's the sixth song.
To me, that's like
I didn't go that far.
Oh, did you go shuffle?
Bro. It goes hard.
Yeah,
I never go shuffle. I always go like one.
I try to listen
because like even for me, like I know song order is important because I want you to get a certain point when I want you to get it. I
shuffled by mistake. Okay, I went out for lunch. And I was like, play, but I left it on shuffle.
I usually try to listen to albums as the artist intended. The only time I don't do that is with Drake, and I'm a huge Drake fan, but I think his album structures are always ass. Like I don't understand why he structures the way his songs the way they do. Cause I think his albums would be perceived a lot better if he just switched a couple songs around.
I think Drake just smushes them together. It's like I'm gonna make a bunch of songs and that's it. Whatever, put it in order.
But to get back to Travis, to Astroworld, I tell you, like the first song, Stargazing.
That's on the trailer, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, he put that song in the trailer. So I was like, it was cool. Like you could tell he mentions it. You could tell he did psychedelics and that shit. Like he was definitely doing some acid, probably in the studio, and he was like coming up with some shit. Because when you listen to it, it's like I feel like he put xylophones or some shit. Like I could be wrong because I'm just trying to make beats, but I feel like
could be right.
It could be right. There's certain noises that's like when you hear Astroworld, you think of like space and stuff like that. Right. And then if you see the trailer, it kind of has that feel, like kind of like a dystopian space. Like I don't know, the way it looks is really cool. So like I just keep getting those visuals with that, and I'm like, I can see if you're like tripping or something like that.
That's actually pretty cool. Cool. Like you see that visual when you listen to it, because I see a visual too. Yeah. But like I'm mostly like feeling the song. I'm like, damn, this is good shit.
Yeah, dude.
Take your time, man.
His production's on point with this.
What I love about Astroworld is that like obviously it's a thematic album. It's like you can almost hear carousels in the album. You feel like
every song kind of like
amusement park.
It begins with something going on, like music part, and it ends with something like that
exactly. Too. And he changes up the beat mid song, like similar to how Drake does. I think that's what Houston. That's what Houston does and what they do out there.
Those transitions are insane.
And those transitions are insane. What's the song with the one with him and Drake?
Sicko Mode.
Sicko
Mode. That one, 3 of them. Yeah,
crazy, bro. That one's going crazy. That one, I still think No Bystander is like,
bro. Wasn't Sicko Mode like 3 songs in one?
Yeah, it was.
Like it started out
like it started with like the violin and shit, and then it went into the trap, and then it went to like a more like rappy rap beat kind of beat. Yeah, it's insane. I
actually really like that song because I thought it was like different songs. I was like, oh, these songs are short. And I'm like, no, these are different songs.
That's what I was thinking. His 40 is a guy named Mike Dean.
Yeah,
and Mike Dean's a guy that Kanye used to actually use a lot. And that guy is a genius. Like they need to keep working together. I hope they continue to work together.
And then I appreciate the features on this album. This guy has so many features.
He's the new Kanye.
So many features. I mean, he is new. The way he's rapping too is very much like old Kanye. It's very nice, but the features, you got Drake in it. You got Frank Ocean hiding in one of your songs.
Bro.
He's hiding, and
Carousel. His verse was hot.
He was in Carousel, and then you got James Blake popping out of nowhere.
Was it in Stop Trying to Be God?
Yeah. And then you got The Weeknd in there talking about wet pussies and shit. I don't know.
Usual weekend shit.
You know.
Shout out to him.
It's like you can't have sex without The Weeknd. Come on,
man.
Really good. No, very good album. Very good album.
Fuck the club. That shit just gets me hyped.
I don't even like the club, but I would absolutely fuck the club up,
bro.
For that one.
That shit is hard, bro.
I really like
his flow on that.
That's what I want to say.
Like his flow on that was like crazy to me. I was like, oh, he's like, I could picture him in the studio, like that, and just like oh my god.
I don't know if he started writing his own music, like if he's still writing his own music, because I know my hugest knock on Travis Scott was that his verses were ass. Right. And you know that when
I think that's why I wasn't.
Yeah, really Rodeo came out.
Yeah, he just had that.
I wasn't really too crazy, but I knew there was like because he has that melodic sound that's popping now. Yeah, it's different enough that it doesn't sound like A Boogie and all these other like melodic guys.
But the thing is that he's as a rapper, he stepped up his game. Obviously, he's especially, not like a top tier rapper.
He's not a lyricist, but like he's putting flows together.
He's holding his own. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I feel like it took a while for his new album to come out. And I feel like in that time that he took to take it out, he was just practicing, like training for like to defeat Cell.
To defeat Cell.
He's in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, just like
Astroworld Super.
Yeah, he's just trying to reach Super Saiyan 2,
right.
And like he's gonna defeat Cell, and then he did it. He did it because this album, like all my grimes against him, like the weak bars and stuff. Like I always thought that he had a good flow, but I always thought like his writing is like subpar. But his melodies and his music always made up for that. Yeah, I really like. If you hear Travis Scott in the club and you're like a little halfway tipsy, you're gonna definitely go in. Exactly. But with this, is very skilled album, very skilled. Like I enjoy listening to it. I enjoy like feeling it. I was listening to it in the club, and not in the club, in the workout today. I was working out today. I was like, oh shit.
That's how you know, because you were at the gym and you referred to it as a club.
Exactly. I was dancing in the gym.
Thought he was at the club. You about to jump in the pool and bump that shit.
You got how long you been rapping for?
It's always been like part of me since like middle school. Funny enough. Like I remember, like I had like I was just talking about this today. I had like a yellow rhyme book, and I would like write in it and stuff like that. And I always try to keep rhyme books around because it's like I would carry them with me on the train. This is when I was young, carry them with me on the train, things like that. And I'd always try to emulate like Big Pun or something like that because he was like one of my favorite rappers growing up.
Dead in the middle, little did he know that we riddled to middle, didn't do diddly.
That's a classic. Diddly. A lot of my verses now is like there's like little pockets of reminiscence of it. Because I'm trying to like develop my own thing, but it's just it pretty much just embedded in me now. Yeah. But yeah, I've pretty much rapping since middle school. Yeah. Until now, but I just started taking it seriously.
Yeah. Recently. The weird thing is, I would have never known you were a rapper, dude. I knew you for so long. We were like best friends all of middle school, and like the last thing I saw you as is a rapper, because it's like we just some nerdy kids trying to play video games and talking about like bitches,
random shit.
Now, baby, if you could take me through. Your first song, if you remember, what was that like?
First song, in terms of like anything that I recorded, put together. Cause
did you like it? I also want to know, did you like it?
Yeah. Well, you always like your own work, but like there's always stuff you could improve on. Like our cameraman over there, he's like my biggest critic. So anything I put out when I was like didn't even have a studio, like it would be on like my laptop. He would be like, he would still listen to it even though it was still shitty quality, and he would always tell me like what I could do better. And flow was always my biggest problem. So it wasn't until like very recently that I started like listening to different flows, and then like I was like, oh, I get it now. Because when you're young, you don't really get certain concepts. You know what I mean? Like
you just write.
Even as 18, yeah, even when you're 18, 19, you don't really get certain concepts. And when you do, you're like, that's when you become like a big star. Because like, when you do that young, you're like, you know, bound for greatness. But when you're young, you don't really get it. And then the older I got, the more I understood like, oh, I can go at this beat this way, or I had to talk about this certain thing on this certain beat. You know what I mean? So my first like couple songs, like when I was trying to do it when I was in college, they were just like I'm not gonna say I'm not proud of them because they're me, but it's something that like it's like I laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like I look at it and what's the word? I look at it like joyfully. Like I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I used to be, and that's who I am now.
Yeah, growing pains.
A point of reference.
Growing pains. Yeah, it's a point of reference. Like, you know, I'm never gonna forget that I used to rap to a laptop. You know what I'm saying? Like, on Audacity.
My only friend.
I mean? Like I'll never forget that. So.
My only friend.
I like that. And I asked for, because obviously we're both creatives. Earl. I know you know him as Josh, but we call him Earl Grey on the podcast. Right. Earl. He's still an active musician, as are you.
Yeah, he's always been. But yeah.
I was a guitarist for a time. I also rap, but I don't like rap.
He raps. He got the skills. He got the bars. No, just like.
Yeah.
I'm kind of decent. I just like I don't have much confidence in my own work. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important for you to have Carlos.
No,
Marcos. Close, man.
You want me to edit that?
Nah, it's funny.
Keep it raw.
It's good to have a guy like Marcos who's critical of your shit, because I always respond the best to. Like, I don't like when people are like, yo, it's dope, because you're lying to me. Because I don't think it's that dope. And so for you to be like, yo, like, don't, you know what I mean? So it's good to have someone who's be like, nah, actually, you need to do a little better.
Yeah, because it motivated, because I'd be like, because everyone else would do that, you know what I mean? And some of them were pretty genuine. Some of them were like, I wouldn't sense fakeness coming from certain people. Yeah. But him, it would like get me mad. I'd be like, oh, I know I'm nice, like say it, like, say it. And like, you know what I mean? And it wasn't too recently that he actually started saying it. And then like, he's been with me in the studio twice, and I told him, I was like, every time I come in, I feel like I get better every time. Like I learned something a little bit different, and I apply
because you kind of I wouldn't even call it criticism. You call it like critique. Tough love. Yeah, you need that tough love, like someone who genuinely believes in you, but can't tell you that you're the shit yet. Because once you get that in your head that you're the shit, that's it. You just
it all goes to shit.
Right. You just stay there, and it all goes to shit. It just trickles down, and you just like start being lazy. But you want somebody like to push you up and make you better and better.
Exactly. And the last thing you want. I'm a big proponent of self-confidence, right? The last thing you want is false confidence. Yeah. Like if you're gonna believe you're the shit, you gotta be the shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why you need a group of people around you who are gonna make sure that you don't have false confidence.
Exactly. You want somebody to be like, all right, if you think you're the shit, prove that you're the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's like, all right, you the shit. You cool. Like, you good.
It's like a big thing that's also coming in that I'm noticing in my life now since I've started like taking this seriously is like the what's the word? The presence of doubt. Like I'm getting a lot of doubt, and it's like wow, it's almost staggering the amount of like doubt that's
self-doubt or from others.
No, it's not self-doubt. Is like self-doubt is like at like this, like right now,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Just because I'm really feeling myself, and this is the happiest I've been in a long time. That's but good. Like doubt from other people, because like I see like I will tell people, I'd be like, yo, yeah, I make music, and depending how they react, like it's whether or not they really get, they do that fake shit, you know what I mean? Oh, that's cool, you know, this, that, and third. And but like certain times, if they don't say anything, they just shrugging it off. They're just like, yeah.
And the problem is also that we're in the era of like the quote unquote SoundCloud rapper. Yeah. So everyone raps, and no one takes the time to find out who is actually good.
And instantly doubt. That's why like I feel like branding yourself is so important, because it's like you got to give people something to look at before you give them something to hear. You know what I mean? And if you're good enough, you can do both at the same time, which is what I feel like I'm doing, because I'm making the hats as you see in the room and stuff like that. I'm making logos. Like it's giving people something to look at. It's not just because looking is almost pretty much involuntary. You don't have to think about that. But when you hear something, there's an extra step until when you hear it. You know what I mean? Unless you hear it on the street on the boombox or someone driving by or whatever.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's like the doubt is like really present, and I use that to feed me. Like I use that to like drive me, because you're gonna know my name, and you're gonna be tight that you doubted me. Like that's really like motivating me hard right now.
So what is your biggest fear? Is it doubting yourself or just people doubting you?
My biggest fear, like musically?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess my biggest fear musically is just hearing like basically silence, like just like nothing, because it's nothing. Like I can't work with that. Like, you know what I mean?
You can work with hate.
I can work with hate. I can work with doubt. I can work with critiques. You know what I mean? Things like that. But with silence is like, damn, like I didn't invoke anything out of you. Like what I just said didn't move shit. Like I went hard on this or whatever. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that.
But I know that probably won't happen just because like. The amount of supporters that I'm getting right now from like loved ones, or like even like coworkers that I just met when I started working that job, they support it hard. Like half the hats I sold yesterday were all coworkers that they believe in it. They're like they want to see me flourish and all that stuff. Like they're really excited about it. And that's also driving me. But yeah, go ahead.
And I want to say, like, this is my first time hearing your music today. You were playing your EP as you walked in.
Thank you. Yeah.
Talent.
Thank you.
I see talent. I would like to see you start working with like original production, but like what I hear, especially the second song, I can't remember the name, but I remember when it came on, I was like, what's the name of this one?
High Low?
Yeah,
well, it was One We Low. I thought that beat, and that was like what I did. So the how I attacked the EP was like I knew I wanted to make one song where it was like kind of original, I'll buy a beat and then I'll make a song out of it. Right. And if I could make like a catchy, because the song was kind of catchy and it's kind of hard and the beat knocks, so I was like, it'll be that I could prove I can do this. Like I want to prove I can do certain things with each project. So that's what I wanted. Like the EP was literally just to see if I could put a project out that like said something and prove the point. Like that they have no wasted like tracks.
Right.
And there aren't any wasted tracks if you listen closely. Every track like says something different. And so yeah, that's how I attack the EP and things like that.
You hear the confidence. You start off the project with you freestyle over Duppy.
Mission Statement. That was
yeah. And I hear it and I like it because I enjoy raps.
Yeah.
Like we haven't discussed this, but I get the feeling that you're the kind of rapper who maybe is burdened by always wanting to say something, and you need to remind yourself to have fun sometimes.
Right.
That was my question when I heard the first song. I was like, all right, he can rap, but can he have fun with it?
Rap.
And then you answer it on the very next track. So that was really impressive. It was really good.
What was that? Oh yeah, the one we low. Yeah. That's how I wanted to order it too, because Mission Statement is basically kind of like the intro. Like a mission statement in business is what you want to do with your business.
Right.
So that's how I kind of wanted to attack it. And then the sample of the Dave Chappelle skit, "Be real, son." Like that's the mission statement, just to be real. So that's the point I try to drive home in that first song. And then the next one is kind of like a bump in party, like the Boys Again hype song or something like that. You know what I mean? And then like I touch on other things. I have a little interlude, things like that.
Okay, I think the problem with music is that you have three schools of thought really, but the first two, which I think are flawed, are like the rappers who are really rapidy, and don't want to have fun, or the fun rappers who are like, oh, I don't need to say anything. And then I find that the really successful rappers
can do both,
and can do both very well. And I think it's important to be able to do both.
Yeah, exactly.
Those successful rappers are the creative ones, the ones that are not afraid to just.
You have to. It's literally throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks with it. Especially when it comes to making projects. But like even with like I have friends that be like, yeah, I'm like pretty timid with what I'm doing, and I'm like, honestly, bro, how I'm looking at it right now is like, you have to jump into the great unknown. You have to. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out, or it'll never ever work. You have to, like, I spent years doing that, like working another job, trying to make another path work for me. Like it always felt like I was trying to push like a square box and like a circle hole, like those children toys.
It was like, why it doesn't fit?
Yeah, exactly. And things didn't fit for me, and a lot of times I was miserable. And it's literally like, if this is something, it could be anything. It could be cooking, whatever it is that you feel like you can't sleep at night without doing. You have to do that. And a lot of people, I feel like nowadays are lost, and they'll be like, they'll wake up and realize, what am I doing? Because like when you get older, you start to realize what you do with your day, rather than when you were young and you were doing whatever the fuck.
I'm very conscious about that.
They're very kind of like, yo, damn man, do shit for 3 days. Yo, I got like, you know what I mean? You're way more conscious of that. And then people are like, they're waking up and they're in their jobs, or they're doing what they're doing, and they're like, oh, I feel like something's missing. And it's like, yeah, because you're doing something that's not meant for you, and like that's why you feel that way.
I guess you want to do what you love.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember.
And do it unapologetically. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be people there that either don't want to see you do it or don't really have the confidence you can do it. But it has to start with you. Like the moment it starts with you, people come in your life and they can push you more. Like this podcast project. You know what I mean? Like Marco's coming in and doing the music videos that I have planned and stuff like that, doing trailers with me and shit, like, you know what I mean? And me and Marcos always kept in touch, and he knew I always wanted to make music here and there, and I knew he liked the music and stuff like that. So, and then like now it's taken seriously, and like now that I'm bringing him along with me, so it's like, you know what I mean? Once you do you, people want to come, people want to support you, they want to buy your hat.
I guess like once I started seeing that seriousness is when I wanted to start working with you, because I remember you came out of nowhere. Like, in all honesty, you came out of nowhere. It's like, bro, what it do? It's Josh. I'm like, bro, I haven't heard you. I heard from you for like 2-3 years. What's up?
It's always like that, but like with us too, because we'll be like, we'll catch up for like a day or two texting, and then we won't hear from each other. But he'll always have the same number. I'll be like, oh, what has the same number?
Because it's the easiest number. I'm not gonna let go of that number.
Literally, I'll always be like, yep, it's still me.
Yeah, it's still me.
From fucking middle school. Joe was like that for a while, but then Joe finally changed his number. But
the thing is, I remember vividly. Like I remember the worry. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna get copyright infringement now. But yeah, no, I definitely remember. Like you were like, bro, I got this new EP. Listen to this song. Listen to this song. I'm like, all right, cool. Anytime I had some free time, I listened to your song. I was like, bro, this guy's talented. Even if it's like from a beat, like if it was like from a Drake beat,
yeah,
and if it was from someone else. I still heard that talent. Like, it's still original. Like, you make it yours. And I was like, dude, you got the talent. You really, really got the talent.
Thank you.
And it's okay. I got it. But like once I started seeing you in the studio, and then you got in touch with Marcos, and Marcos was like literally filming you.
Yeah, this motherfucker won 4 awards. How you like sweep something?
I congratulated him. I was like, oh shit, bro, dude, that's when I was like, fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was like, yo, come on, man, like, yo, do this together.
Once you see hard work pay off, that's my dream. To see hard work pay off. I strive for that shit.
Especially. Yeah.
I strive for that shit, and I'm pretty sure you do too.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why I work with you. And
it's literally, you have to love the process more than the result, and that's how the only way it's gonna work. You like, I was watching a Netflix documentary of the Chef's Table. And they did a baker season, and one of them was Christina Tosi. She's the one that created Milk Bar. She's the one that created the whole cereal flavor.
Yeah, I've seen that shit.
So she has this line there that like really like resonates with me. She was talking about how she decided to do baking. She was like, I woke up and I was like, what can I do for the rest of my life every day, and like, you know, what can I do? Like, and she chose baking. So I was like, that's how I felt. Like, what can I do every day? What can I do? And I was like, what can I do every day? And I was like, it has to be music.
I want to ask you the question: how do you deal with? Because for me personally, I find that even when I create something, I have to really be behind it for me to want to put it out. Okay. For instance, Earl and I recorded maybe 3-4 episodes, and every episode he's like, "All right, I'm gonna drop it." I'm like, "Yo, I don't like it that much."
Yeah, this was like before we even started the podcast.
Right. And I'm telling you, like 4 episodes for like a month, we were recording fruitlessly, and it was entirely my fault. How do you deal when you're making a song, when you want to make a song, and you're not like in love with what you're creating?
I think for me, excuse me, I guess I'll start by how I like go about making my songs. It always has to start with the beat. So if I like, and there'll be beats that I'm just like, yeah, I could write to this, and then I write to it, and then I like rap it to myself, and I'm like, this is cool, but it's something I've done before. So it's like, let me try something else, and then I'll keep looking for beats, or like I'll try to get in the studio with Josh and try to make in the studio with Earl and try to make a beat and things like that.
Yeah,
and
talking about that, actually, go ahead.
Making a beat and all that stuff. So it has to start there. Like if the beat moves me, then I know I can do what I want. Like I know I'm gonna love when I make, because that's how it literally comes from the most basic thing of sound. Like if the sound is like, oh yeah, I can write. This is hard, or like, yo, I could write to this or something like that. Then it's like immediately goes in. And sometimes, I mean, like every once in a while, I'll have like, it'll be like I recorded a verse for the Nice for What Drake song.
Right. Yeah.
And like I liked it a lot, and I was gonna put on the EP, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save it, because like it should have came out earlier anyway, so I'm gonna just save it and use it. I
remember because we wrote that together. Yeah.
And so that one, you know what I mean? It's, some stuff is just meant to keep your pen moving, but like you always keep it. You know what I mean? You always keep, like, at least let the stuff you write. So for me, so to answer your question, like it has to start from the sound. Like if the sound is right, I know I can make this into something I really like.
I completely agree. I work the same way. Like you and I work. Right. Well, I've been working like recently, like me teaching you how to pretty much make beats and produce songs, and also to the point in which we're like actually writing songs for your project, which I think is incredible. But I'm the same way. You see me, like it takes a while. I just try to find my instruments to like record, and then try to, like, it starts out.
You have to find the tune.
Yeah, you gotta find the tune.
That one tune that's gonna
exactly
like, be the glue of the song. So that way, once you hear that tune, you just kind of build around.
Yeah, and like especially that last song we were working on last week.
Dude, I'm gonna send you the snippet of that one. We can play it later.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm telling you, you're gonna like it. Man.
Dude, when I was writing it, I was liking it, but that kept on changing. I kept on changing because I remember your input. You were like, "Dude, there's something missing."
Yeah, it was missing. Like it's and like when you added the piano and but like it still felt like there was a little bit missing. But it was the vocals. Like now we have the vocal, and it's when you play it, you're gonna love it, man. I'm telling you. I know I'm gonna love it. I fucking produced it, and I produced it with you. And I produced it.
Yeah, the thing is, when I wrote it, I usually write songs by myself, and I can write like 10, 20 songs in a week, and like I can only like 3 or 4 of them. Like I'll really appreciate only a few of them. But when I was with you and we were writing that song, we had a direction and we were like trying to attack that
it's
thing.
It's crazy because like we started off because I was trying to right now I'm writing a song rapping through the eyes of my dad.
Yeah,
because me and my dad have our own like little choral issues and stuff like that. But we originally started trying to make a somber beat to like kind of go with it. But the way I wanted to like attack the song through the eyes of my dad, it just didn't fit over that beat. So I tried something else that was in my like stash that I had that I wanted to make a song on the mixtape. And it just fit way better, and so we just went along with it, and now it's looking like it's gonna be a dope record.
No, it's gonna be dope. And there's many more to come, man.
Yeah, man.
Many more songs to come, and there's gonna be a lot more.
That's what I'm saying.
And after all this, bro, after all this, you're gonna learn so much, and you're gonna just.
I can't wait.
You're gonna be a jack of all trades. Yeah, so you're gonna be the shit.
Student of the game, man.
In basketball, they refer well, in sports really, they refer to like a floor and a ceiling. What do you see your ceiling as an artist?
A ceiling. Give me an example so I can have a reference point.
Like where do you want to be? Like if everything comes out perfectly, where are you in 5 years?
Well, the motivation.
That's nice. That's a nice question.
I like that. So the motivation, to answer that, like. The motivation would probably be like, I just want to be one of those guys. Like, I feel like that's the attitude in any field that you want to get into. Excuse me, your attitude should always be just be part of that Mount Olympus of guys. So like I want to be up there, you know what I mean? Like, and however I get there is however I get there, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna like, I want it to be like natural, you know what I mean? I don't want to force anything, but like it would be like to be part of that Mount Olympus of like guys and girls too. Yeah. 'Cause
I'd say like for myself, for the podcast, I don't know how Earl feels, but I fear us getting past a certain level of fame, because I don't think it's fun past a certain level. After that, you have to like pander to your audience.
I think at that point, when you reach that point, because you're gonna reach a plateau, you're gonna reach a point of whatever career that's gonna be like you're either not achieving it or it's like you might lose it, and it's up to you to like still find that you know what I mean? Like always let the idea drive the car. Like Dave Chappelle was saying that on the Comedians in Cars new episode. Like I watched a lot of Netflix, obviously you can see.
Same.
But a lot of stuff like I try, like it's just some stuff, certain things they apply to me. So he was like, just let the idea drive the car. Like you can't drive it because then there's no idea in the car. You know, the idea is what drives everything. Because
so like the idea is like the feel.
Yeah, and sometimes you might be in the trunk. Sometimes you might be on the hood, but the idea is always driving. You just gotta let it drive and wait till it gets there. You know
that's cool.
mean?
That's literally like.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
We talked about
favorite comedian.
Bro, we talked about Dave Chappelle like about 80 times on this podcast, season 1 and 2.
This is more of a variety kind of podcast. We don't really focus on one thing, but we do consider ourselves like a comedy podcast. So we spend a lot of time talking about comedians.
Yeah, we're kind of funny.
No, yeah,
we're kind of funny.
I've like I guess one of my like, if you want, I just talk about comedians and stuff. I really like Childish Gambino. Like I think I just asn't like a writer overall like that. Okay, so in terms of like where I think Childish Gambino. There you go. To answer your question, because Childish Gambino, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. Like he can do, because I want to write TV shows and cartoons too. Like that's what I would do like after music and like after like investing in like certain things to make me more money. Like I'd want to like start doing that, because that's another thing that I think I'm good at and I want to do.
That's more so the answer I was looking for. Cause I get the feeling you don't just want to rap.
Yeah,
like I know you love rap.
Because I'm a writer.
Passionate about it.
I'm a writer in general. So like the rap is just another avenue to it.
Yeah,
and I think that's the I would probably say it's the easiest, because like screenwriting is a whole another game. You know what I mean? That I'd have to adjust to. But I have more freedom to do rap, because I can do all the things I've been doing rather than
creative.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to be like just a creative and stuff like that. I mean, if I can get into fashion somehow, that'd be cool. But that's a whole nother.
Come out with your new jeans.
Yeah, so that would be a whole thing for later.
I mean, we advertised a jean brand not so long ago. It was sponsored by Diesel, and it was called Cock Diesel. Well, the jean brand was supposed to be a type of brand that for men that emphasizes their penis. Like Boges.
Oh, okay. so the brand is called Diesel.
It's called Cock Diesel.
It's called Cock Diesel by Diesel.
Remember that. Cock Diesel by Diesel.
I feel like they're very popular. They're probably popular.
It will be very soon. Dude, I've been trying. People keep running away. I don't know why.
I don't know why, man.
If you're not on Cock Diesel,
the street and it's like.
And jump back to what you were saying. I think Bino is the perfect example of where I want to be, like, professionally. Yeah. Because jack of all trades, very successful in everything he's tried, but still under the radar.
Right.
Still, you don't hear from him until he wants you to hear from him.
I think now with This Is America, he's definitely on the radar now. Like,
but the thing is, if you think about that, you thought that last year when he won Oscar for Atlanta.
Right, but that's a whole different field.
Oscar, it was
that's a whole different
Academy
field.
Award. Academy Award, yeah.
Emmy.
Yeah,
Emmy. There you go.
Same thing, but yeah.
Marco, check the facts, but read it to yourself. But no, like that's what I'm saying. Like, Atlanta is a whole nother thing. Like, there's more people that I don't know. He has a different. I feel like his fans sometimes don't watch Atlanta because I've met people that be like, oh, I love Childish Gambino. I'd be like, yo, you watch Atlanta? I'd be like, nah. So like, I feel like with This Is America, it just reached like a whole nother like.
I've watched only a little bit of Atlanta, but I want to watch all of Atlanta.
Excellent.
It's
because
that's what I want.
It's not on Netflix or Hulu.
I hate that it's not on Hulu. It's like, what are you doing, man?
I don't have cable.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That's why I'm not like too mad because it's like it's on FX. Yeah, it's also the perfect channel for it.
Right. I watch it on FX.
If it was on any show, if it was on any other network, I feel like it wouldn't be. But FX is perfect for that.
Yeah, FX also they produce Louis.
Yeah,
and like that's Louis C.K. is a sensitive topic, but Louis as a show. Was good. Critically acclaimed for a very long time. Yeah. And I remember seeing Atlanta, and I saw season 1, and I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna follow this up? Then Robin season came up, which is that's the name of the season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Better in every sense.
Yeah, no, it's better. It's literally better in every sense. Like it's, and then when you just like learn certain things about like I think my favorite probably episode of that season was the one where he plays the Michael Jackson.
Where he goes to pick up the piano.
Yeah, that episode is brilliant to me.
I am so sad that you guys are just like connecting with Atlanta.
I'm
here like a peasant without cable.
He just does things like he literally just does what he wants. Like, I remember him talking about like years ago before any hint of the show came out. It was on like a Breakfast Club interview. He was like, yeah, like we're working to deal with FX doing a show. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be funny. It's literally all the things. Like, it is mad weird. Like, I feel like the concept of time in that show is like you don't grasp it until like fucking 10 minutes in. You'd be like, oh, a whole month passed and now he's like on tour and like, you know what I mean? It's crazy to me.
The episode seems so random. Yeah, like he had
somehow linear at the same time.
The Black American Network episode on season 1.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite episode of the show. Yeah. And then I have a favorite scene when he was in the recording studio. With the rapper?
I really feel like he said that scene. He was like, yo, that really happened. Like, he went to like the rapper studio.
I know that episode. Actually, it was a big thing.
I think that character is supposed to be Chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at him. He like the way he dresses. Chance used to dress pretty much like that. Overalls, shit like that. He's light skinned, and then there's an episode where he's like Al and Darius? They like talk to that guy. I forgot his name in the.
I can't remember his name, but yeah,
it's something with a C. But like again, C Chance. Yeah. I rest my case. But like he's like, I said no because I'm explaining another reason. But like I think it's Chance. I think it's Chance because and then Clark County. It was Clark County. That's the character's name. So yeah, he's talking to Clark County or whatever. Yeah, and then so then Clark County leaves, and then Darius just goes, He's an industry plant. And he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, and I'm like, I'm telling you, that's Chance, bro. I'm telling you, it has to be. Because he's like, yeah, because Chance is an OD nice guy, but he's from Chicago at the end of the day.
Right.
So he knows shooters.
Right.
So, like, in that scene where, like, the guy acts tough, like, I expect that, like, kind of. Maybe not so, like, but dark, but I feel like Chance would deadass have a shooter in the room. Like, if Lil Uzi's out here slapping Rich the Kid in Philly, like, I feel like Chance the Rapper has shooters.
If Drake can go from genuinely nice guy to like he raps about having mob ties, and I know a lot of people take him like for jokes. I believe him.
He probably has mob ties. You never know.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about having mob ties. They'll rap about it, but they'll like, yeah, I actually do have mob ties.
And if you look at the people he surrounds himself with, the circles of people he know, you gotta, as a rapper, you gotta have some sort of protection.
You do.
I want to ask you to get back into rap.
Go ahead.
Top 5, not all time, because that's a tricky fucking question. No, top 5 current.
Current? I won't do it in any particular order. Dial on.
Gotta spit hot fire.
Currently, some of them I'm not gonna do it in any particular order, but some of them might be obvious. I think J. Cole, because he's been my favorite for a long time, so I think he's definitely top. Like, if you try to argue that, like, I think you're not paying attention.
I mean, we have an episode where we talked about J. Cole for a very long time. But yeah, go on.
I think J. Cole definitely. Kendrick is obvious. I just lean toward more J. Cole style personally. What? The Drakes?
Yeah.
Like Drake's new album?
Yeah.
No, he's asking if you consider Drake.
Oh yeah, of course. He'll always be. He's there regardless, no matter who's making whoever's in the room making the argument. Drake is on there. Drake
it looks silly to make a top 5 current and not have
Drake. Yeah. Because no matter what he does, he's either top 2 or not 2. He's either top 2 or not 2. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Kendrick just got there. Yeah. Like, Kendrick just got to that point where, like, ain't nobody asking who Kendrick is right now.
So you have the J. Cole, Kendrick.
Yeah, those 3 are pretty obvious. Then it's pretty much hard from there. Because, like, I like Dave East and he's new, but I don't think he's good. Like, I don't think people will consider him, like, top 5. Like,
you don't think he's proved enough?
Yeah, well, just because I think he just stays in his own lane.
Yeah, but
and he does,
because he doesn't really care about hit records. He puts out content, and it's all pretty to really good.
Yeah,
content.
But that's like someone you consider.
The thing,
I mean, but that's why I don't. But because he hasn't, I'm taking into account what they do. Like, you know what I mean. As total.
Gotcha.
The thing was like, can he go to that avenue where he's on stadium, like he's doing what Kendrick's doing, or he's doing what Cole is doing.
Dave East, but Dave East should be a lot bigger than he is. Yeah, because he has a couple things working for him. He can rap, like he can genuinely rap.
He has that feel. Yeah, he has a lot of stuff. Yeah. He's a model.
He can make songs.
Bitches love him.
He's also a genuinely attractive guy. He's 6'5", looks like he said like a model. Like he looks like he has a lot working for him. Girls go to his music. Girls go to his concerts just to look at the nigga, because he don't make music for girls like that. And I think if he did just a little bit more, he'd be huge.
He'd be the new phenomenon.
Yeah.
Or so I agree with you. Pronounce that word.
He should be bigger than he is.
But I don't. So that's why I don't. Because he hasn't stepped in that lane. And that's no shot to him. I just think that's just not what his motivation is. I don't think I don't think those type of records are like it's what feeds him. Yeah. Probably because that's the only thing. When you don't want to do something, you don't do it. You know what I mean? You come up with either every excuse or you just straight like, nah, I'm not on that type of time right now. So.
Then there was one.
And then there was one. I'm trying to think of who I've been listening to like this past like.
Top 5.
Let me look at my playlist.
While you look at your playlist
for my Spotify, I'll go into my top 5 while you're looking. Yeah,
because I listen to a lot of different people.
I agree with you with the first 3. Absolutely. I don't think you can make a list.
Interchange pretty much all the time.
Yeah. J. Cole drops an album, he's number 1. Kendrick drops an album, then he's number 1, and then Drake drops an album.
Oh, okay. So after this album drop, I'm going Push.
Yeah,
I'm going. I think he's not playing anymore. Like I think like the next couple projects or songs he was doing is going to be hard. I might be prisoner of the moment. Call me prisoner of the moment. I don't care.
Pusha T usually goes hard, but he goes hard about drugs.
I think this project is a huge that might like you can. Like that's a really. If it was longer, you probably could argue like it might be album of the year. If it was longer, if it had like 4 more songs.
So you were a fan of Daytona?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a huge. Like I think that's the out of all the 7 7-song projects that has dropped.
Santeria.
Come on, bro. That record is hard.
It is. I love it. I love that. I have the entire 7-song album.
I've considered myself a Pusha fan for a while. I didn't grow up listening to him or anything, but I remember when he came up with Nostalgia with Kendrick. It was like 5 years ago. Yeah. I couldn't.
My name is my name.
Yeah, I couldn't stop listening to that song. Made me listen to the album, and then after that, like, this guy can rap. Then he keeps coming out with music. My only issue with him, and I know a lot of people like it about him, he just won't stop rapping about cocaine. And I don't believe that you've sold cocaine in at least 20 years, man. No, I don't like.
That's Push though.
But you think Push is pushing?
His brother. I don't think Pushing's pushing anymore. I think if anything, he's just laying
blood, man. Yo, listen to bro. If you listen to and then I keep referencing other interviews, but if you listen to interview of his brother, he'd be like, yo, okay, because he used to do what Pusha used to do.
His brother's no malice.
But I think his brother, like, I think got locked up or something like that. Yeah. And like Pusha was 15 running everything. So I fully believe that he may not be like, you know, but he's definitely overseeing shit. Like, he
has like a whole like crew of pushers.
My whole thing is Jay-Z lost 82 bricks, and I don't think he's focused on those 82 anymore.
There's a reason why Pusha T's not at Jay-Z's at.
And that's what I'm saying, because Jay-Z will still make girl songs. He will still like try
the whole album with his wife.
Yeah.
The whole album with his wife where he raps like
The Carters are top 5 now. The Carters are top 5.
Pusha, I think Pusha,
I love that album.
Lyrics wise,
just because
bars wise, I don't think there are like 10 rappers that are better than Pusha. I'd be hard pressed to say there's 5.
I can name 5
that are better rappers than Pusha.
Dylan,
Jashi, and Jashi.
Because they spit hot fire, bro. And I think he holds himself back.
I think Pusha T is underrated, though.
That is a reference from Dave Chappelle. You should look into it. I'm talking to the audience.
We have a live studio audience.
The live studio audience, right?
No, to give you mine, I'll put the same 3 that you started out with. You mentioned Bino, and I'm a huge Childish Gambino fan. Like, I remember Sick Boy. This is mixtape eras. Like Josh will tell you, I'm kind of like a fake hipster in the fact that when I jump on an art,
like I get in like certain new art before they even pop onto them or whatever,
and I won't shut the fuck up about it ever. I won't do it. Like, till this day,
I used to be like, yo.
I keep telling people I used to listen to Drake back with Room for Improvement. Yeah, which is like. I was a freshman in high school. I was a freshman in high school.
That was before comeback season.
And I remember telling my girlfriend at the time, like, hey, listen to it. She's like, shut the fuck up. And then I remember, like, my senior year, they wouldn't stop listening to Best I Ever Had. And I was like, you fake motherfuckers. Yeah, I hate all of them. I've been telling y'all.
You know what's even worse? When you're into someone who, like, you know is nice, and then, like, but no one believes it, and then he doesn't really get that kind of... Like, Joe Budden was my favorite for a long time. But like, no, everyone would make fun of me and be like, bro, I'm telling you, like, mood music is crazy. And then like, but he never really got that. But now he's doing other shit. So.
I'm very big on like mental health. Yeah. And he was like, I think early on, I like a lot of rappers are now. Yeah. But early on, he was really big on that. Like,
that was his thing, because no one was really like going that depth into, and you believed it because he let you in his life. He had like videos and all that stuff. I remember I used to watch all them shits. Like, I used to watch all the videos he would have with like conversation or whoever was, you know what I mean, when he was back with Esther and all that shit. So you believed all the stuff about mental health he was talking about, and he's honestly like a big inspiration for like how I write, because I feel like he's unapologetically himself on a track.
No, I remember you always being really big on Joe Budden.
Yeah, man.
Like, Joe Budden, he's the shit, man.
I'm a big fan of his. I won't shut the fuck up.
I mean, I love his podcast.
Yeah,
I love his podcast. It's 2 hours, but like,
I
try 2.5 sometimes.
I try my best.
I watch it in parts. I watch like maybe like 45 minutes of it, and then I do something else.
Bro.
The next day I watch the next 45 minutes of it, and I do something else.
I'm so obsessed with that podcast that I listen to it on Wednesday. My podcast comes out on Wednesday. Our podcast comes out on Wednesday. Oh, it's been an hour already.
How dare you?
Please ignore. And I listened to that podcast before I listen to our podcast.
Yeah, right. Because
that's fucked up.
Earl would be like, because like Earl's in charge of like the behind the scenes, like the editing and all that stuff, the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm in charge of the social media aspect. And he'd be like, yo, where's the promo for this week? I'm like, I'm in the middle of this podcast. Give me a second.
He's like, motherfucker. Like,
well, you should be in the middle of our podcast.
Yeah. Not seriously. Like I said, I listen to podcasts, and it's usually my podcast, and then I listen to everything else. But this guy is like listening to other podcasts, like I'm important too.
Like I like it's hard. There's certain podcasts that I like. One of them I really like is the it's Kevin Smith and I forgot what it's called, but I think he's like, it's supposed to be a podcast to help Jason Mewes stay off heroin.
Oh, I like that. He struggled with his own.
So he does it once a week to kind of like check. He's like, "How's it going, Mewes? How's this week?" And then they kind of like get into it and stuff. It's really good. It's so funny.
Man, you gotta love podcasts. You can talk about anything.
And
you just have to be a person people want to listen.
A funny story about this podcast was I spoke earlier about how I'm a rapper, but I'm not a rapper.
Yeah.
The Bronx Project actually started off as a mixtape idea that Earl was gonna help me produce, and I kept thinking about the name, the Bronx Project, and it just felt like more than not just a mixtape. I don't want to say like just a because music is very important to me. Like I won't downplay music like that, like just a mixtape. Yeah. There are mixtapes that are better than a lot of albums, you know. But it just like I felt like I was doing it a disservice by just doing that.
Yeah.
And this was birthed from it.
Because there's two concepts in that title. You have the Bronx and the Project, which is already a general like concept.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
so
projects,
you would so you just like you hear Riley knows you're doing a disservice if you're just you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I remember like we were trying to like write towards that. It was another friend, Christian. We were like, oh yeah, the Bronx Project. That should be your EP, man. And he was like really into it. Like he wake up every morning, write some shit, like like stretch, and then take a shower. But then like it never happened. And I guess events happen, and then you never get to that.
No, the reason why it never happened is because I was telling you earlier. I'm a perfectionist, and it's bad because I think being a perfectionist is good for certain things. For things that require creativity, maybe not so good.
Yeah, that's why I have other people.
Yeah,
I go Marcos who are perfectionists that like because I'll take his advice and I'll add it to my own thing, and then I come up with somehow doing both, and then it comes out dope.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, like you just need that someone who is a perfectionist to be like, wait, you do this a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Because then it kind of rubs off on you. Like the record that I for the single that I had for the mixtape Smile, like it was literally every time I like added more to it, it was like take another step, and then like the last step is the finalization of the record. And so like I thought it was done before today. And Marcos hears that, he's like, nah, like it's almost there, you almost got it, but it's just like, and I was like, just keep listening to it. Like sometimes you become a prisoner of your own moment, so you need someone who's like who's less.
You need someone who's gonna shit on you, but motivational.
Marcos knows better not to shit on me.
Nah, but he's shitting on you motivationally. He's like, yo, it's almost there.
He's like, almost there, but I'm gonna shit on you anyway. Exactly. That's funny because I'm the opposite. I usually shit on myself all the time.
It's not even that I just like because I guess because I already like it's confirmed that I have this talent within me. So you're gonna automatically think that everything you do is like hot or has some type of thing. And sometimes stuff you do is hot, but it's not meant for everyone's ears yet. Like or at all. Just like it's just meant for you to keep your pen moving, or it's just meant for you to like, you know what I mean, just stay on your toes and stuff like that.
No, I'm a sucker for like appreciation and people telling me, bro, you got this.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm like, yes,
it
feels good.
Yeah, it feels
that's
good.
The only way I'm writing is because all this like feedback.
That's because you showing yourself. So anytime someone else do it, you love it. So it's so.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love what you do. I love what musicians do, especially the ones that try hard. Not try hard, but like work hard towards that goal. And that's why I support you in this entire project. Like on and off the studio. Like in the studio, I support you. I'm trying to find what fits you and try to.
Came today, honestly.
Yeah, I should have, but
it's okay.
Shit happens. But also try to find like what challenges you and to make you a better musician. The same with me. I'm trying to challenge myself as a producer and a musician. Right. But at the same time, I want to see you like rise above what you think you're at. Like, as a musician, I always think like I'm pretty mediocre, but I feel like a lot of the times people are like, hey, you got it. Yeah, you got it. And the same thing with you, bro. You got it. You just gotta like reach out and fucking keep on doing it.
You just gotta literally just keep taking those steps.
Take all those steps.
Little by little, like just be like patience. Like patience is.
Like, dude.
The older you get, the more cliches, the more true cliches become.
Bro, I've been patient since 16.
Yeah, man. You have to be patient. It's literally because little things fall into place. It's like, yes. You know what I mean? And you'll know, and that's enough to keep you going because you saw it fall. You saw like you saw your hard work pay off. So it's like, oh, that's already. I can already do this thing. Let me try this thing now. Exactly. If it doesn't work, you go, let me try this other thing, and now it works.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
That's the whole reason why I got into experimenting in the first place. That's the whole reason why you got into rapping in the first place. It's like, you can't do anything unless you try.
Facts.
Like, try hard. And for your, like, in your case, you're trying, like, that's 110% is, like, totally towards music.
Yeah, because it's like you got, like... because I feel like I'm late. Like, I feel like I'm getting, like, I feel like I should have started this earlier.
25, 26?
I'm 25, yeah. I just turned 25 this year. But I feel like I should have started this, like...
A long time ago?
A longer time ago, because, like, it would have been... the growing pains would have been done by now. And I would have probably, you know what I mean? But and at the same time, like, I hadn't really experienced a lot of, like, the stuff I talk about on my tracks now. So it probably wouldn't even be as good. So I guess I'm happy that it's starting now. But, I forgot where I was going with this. I apologize.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I'd like to go back to, like, I should have started this, like, earlier. I get that shit from my fiance, Daphne, all the time. She's constantly telling me, if you tried harder when you were younger, 22, 21, I feel like you could have been big. And it's like that self-doubt, to go back to like that original detail that we were talking about. That self-doubt really like puts you down. Like you don't feel, you don't feel like at first you don't feel like I'm not good enough. Yeah. And like now it's like, bro, as long as you try hard, you're gonna be good enough. You're gonna be fucking amazing.
Things happen. The universe. Happen. Yeah, universe delivers when you don't yell at it. Like, you literally just have to keep doing.
I'm always yelling at it.
Don't yell at it, man. Especially since we're working together. I can't have you yell at the universe.
No, I yell at it when you're not there. You're there. I'm like, hey, what's up? And you're gonna like, fuck universe.
But I bet you stopped yelling at it when you got that job, huh?
Oh, dude, I stopped yelling.
Exactly.
He's like, you my nigga, universe.
Yeah, I love you, universe. Thank you.
Get that to the universe real quick.
Thank you for that money.
Exactly.
I want to ask you a question. I think this is a challenging question.
Go ahead.
I'm here to challenge.
Challenge.
Sure. What's your favorite lyric of your own?
Of my own?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. No, but you had to narrow it down to one.
It'll probably be. Let's find out.
And I'm gonna want you. Like, I want.
Do you want me to, like,
you to explain? I mean, you can absolutely. I would love for you to rap it. If you don't want to rap it, I won't force you to. But I would want you to explain why it's your favorite lyric.
All right. Let's see. I'll do something a little more recent that I've done, so that way it'll be relevant to you when you hear it. So it'll probably be.
And if you don't hear Earl, it's because he's urinating. He'll be back shortly.
Lucky bastard. Holding my piss in this for like 45 minutes. Thinking I was like, I'll be here for the thing. I'm like, I got there. Like, dude, I do that work too, and I'm like opening up on myself. Be like, damn, I can't take a shit, man. Like,
bro,
customer comes.
It's so hard for me to hold my pee in now. I can't do it anymore. I'm just like, yo, I'm running. Man,
you get certain things you do, certain things change, man. So I would get. This is more recent. I won't say what project this is off of, but or what song this is off of. I'll just do it. My chest is dead. What don't you get? Poverty keeping me vexed. Damn, no sleep is leaving me stressed. Jashi and Sharpie all on her chest, depressed, feeling it all through my flesh. I see razor marks under them protects. So the reason why I like that a lot is because like I'm explaining a lot of what the song is just me going through like emotions, like parts of my emotions where I love myself and parts of my emotions where I hate myself, or like I hate what I'm going through. So you hear like poverty keeping me vexed, no sleep leaving me stressed, Jashi and Sharpie on her chest. So that's like, you know what I mean, that's a joyous moment. But then you go immediate right, Jashi and Sharpie on her chest, depressed, feeling it all through my flesh. So I see razor marks under them protects. So like if you know, Patek Philippe or Patek is like an expensive ass watch, right? So razor marks on all of them. Like I know that like rappers rap about that shit all the time, but I know that there's pain there. So I'm explaining that I see it because I know, like, You know what I mean? So I like that a lot because it's just a lot of imagery that comes at you like one after another, and it all ties in to like the same theme of the song.
And where's that from? Is it out?
It's not out yet, no, but it's off the upcoming mixtape. It's coming soon. I just finalized the track today. We could play a snippet of it if you want whenever you guys are ready.
Definitely.
But that's that song. It means a lot to me.
No, I don't. You missed the lyric, but it was poignant.
Yeah.
If I could use the SAT word, it's a poignant.
Go right ahead, buddy. 1450. I see you.
And I know I said it was the last question, but I know you went to CUNY Oswego.
Yeah.
Tell me about that a bit.
It definitely laid the groundwork. It definitely laid the groundwork for like who I am now. Like the first like couple years, you're still trying to kind of like find yourself in college, like what you want to do, like, you know what I mean. And it took me a while to be like choose creative writing as a major. I had 2 other majors before that, so that's kind of like what I went through like in the beginning. And then as you can see, I pledged a fraternity, and that kind of like that played a huge part in who I am now, because you go through a lot of like pain, not only doing pledging, but just even like dealing, because you deal with a lot more people when you're in a social group like that. So the more people you deal with, the more likely you run into like toxic people.
Right. And
college is like, you know, is filled with those people. So I ran into a lot of them in my life, and like I just know how to deal with people now, and I know like how to read people. I know I've been through like pain and shit like that, like especially during pledging, because like when you go through that, you pretty much like it kind of prepares you for real life, because if you deal with a lot of that kind of shit, whatever you're envisioning in your head, like life is like you let that shit roll off you. Yeah. It's like, motherfucker, like I went through hell for however amount of time it took me to get in. Like you're nothing. This is nothing. Exactly. So, and it kind of like it kind of like laid the groundwork, because then like I started. That's when I was a big drug phase. So I was doing a lot of drugs. I was doing like I still smoke today, but that's when I started smoking.
Weed.
Huh? Weed. Yeah, I don't. If I've smoked a cigarette, it's been in like when I'm like really drunk, and it's like once every like 8 months or whatever. And it's just like it's literally just because I'm in like whatever, because I want something to hit, and
I've done cigarettes before. Mm-hmm. Only when I'm drunk. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a weed smoker.
Yeah, me too.
I'm cutting back now, trying to like get a job and all that shit. Like, but I don't know. I have a hard time considering weed a drug, even though I know it is.
Yeah, it is. It's just because it's like, for the most part it's safe. Like
I don't ever consider weed. Like I don't smoke. Yeah. I've never smoked anything in my entire life.
Anything,
no drugs.
No, it's wild.
But I myself,
I can vouch for that.
But the rabbit hole,
marijuana, weed, I do not. It's so natural.
Yeah, it's but it's that I don't want to say gateway because that's stupid, but it's definitely a rabbit hole, because like I definitely told myself I wouldn't do anything past that.
We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, literally.
I don't want to say gateway because gateway is such a like stained term. I would say like rabbit hole, because I'm big into psychedelics.
What I was saying last week was weed is one of those, you gotta be very careful with the circumstances with which you use it. Right. Because if you're using it to run away, things are gonna keep catching up, and then you're gonna need to run faster.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's therein lies the problem.
Right. I think like for me, like. Yeah, weed is just recreational for me. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes when I don't have it, I'm like, damn, I wish I could smoke right now. But it's not always like I'm not.
It's not like a shit if I don't smoke right now.
Yeah, I might pop off. It's never like that. It's just like it's just always like, fuck, man, I wish I could smoke. Like it's just like it's always just like kind of like a bum out feeling. Like you're just bummer, and then you just kind of deal with your life.
Like when you had a hard day, like I can use a drink right now. Like
that is a casual thing. I can use a drink.
Yeah.
Or I can use. Yeah. I don't know what you say.
But when weed becomes the first thing you need to run to whenever you feel any kind of discomfort, that's when it becomes a problem.
That's a problem,
yeah, that's any drug. Anything.
Yeah, that's anything.
Anything becomes a
even
drug.
Even jerking off. If you need to jerk off every time you stressed out,
nigga.
I feel you, but still.
I feel you. But still, I got other stuff to do.
I do it to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
And now you can't sleep till you jerk off.
Yeah, I know. It's either melatonin.
Pavlov's dog.
Or it's jerking off.
Pavlov's dog yourself.
I prefer jerking off because I'm 2 birds with 1 stone, bro. Yeah. 2 birds with 1 dick.
But we need some fucking sound. We need some soundboard or something.
I'll edit it in. I say that all the time and I never do it.
Scumbag. So bring it back to the college thing. It was so that part, like, because like I said, I did a lot of drugs, and the drugs, like, they make you think differently and stuff like that. Like I've done Molly, coke. Not drugs of my personal choice. I feel like they're just not for me. Right. I'm more into like psychedelics. Like I like mushrooms is really big. Acid is a really big part of my life because it just helped me think differently. Like it pushed me to this point where I looked at myself and I was like, this isn't a person that I like. This is the only person I can be. So I have to turn myself into someone that I like.
Mm-hmm. That takes some kind of fucking courage,
and it's
bro.
like, and it's literally like. It's literally like you're every time I try to explain this, I'm at a loss for words, but like it's literally you're forced to look at yourself, and other things mean different things to you, and you wouldn't think about it if you were sober, because when you're sober, your mind compartmentalizes things automatically without you thinking about it. Mm-hmm. When you're tripping, you're stopping all that. You're experiencing everything at one moment at one time. So for me, it was like. I had this sweater that was made for me. It was a nice material. It had like my fraternity stuff on it. It was nice, and like my big sisters in the sorority gave that to me, and like and like I got paint on it after time. It got bleach on it, and I just didn't take care of it. But I always kept it because it's like it was still a gift. Right. But I never wore it. I always kept that at like the bottom. Whatever I packed it in, it was at the bottom. And then like I remember I was tripping, and I looked at it, and my eyes started watering up because I felt like how I treated that was how I treat myself. Right. Everything, all the things that I sweep it under the rug and I keep it at the bottom. And like I just looked at it, and I remember like starting to cry because I was like, yo, this is me right now. Like I'm fucking like, you could still like to a sober person, it's kind of like, damn, you are tripping face, but that's how it felt because it came full circle to me. You know what I mean? Shit. Like, and I was just like, fuck, man, like I gotta treat myself better. Like I gotta wear this hoodie. Like I should wear this hoodie more. Like, and I'm just like, I'm so ungrateful, which was always a problem in my childhood. My mom always thought like I was like ungrateful at times, and that was never my intention with certain things I said. But like it hit me. I was like, I gotta treat things better because like, you know what I mean, my room is still messy, but certain things that I care about, I make sure aren't on the floor. Like, you know what I mean, your mom would yell at you if you sat on your coat that she just bought. You know what I mean? And here I am, someone spending like money, and it's at the bottom of a fucking tote and like has stains on it. So it just kind of like it forces you to look at yourself in a different light the way no one else can. And it pushes you to that point, but it's also like it's not for the faint of heart. Like you really have to be ready to look at yourself, and like experience yourself all at one point. And also, it's made me more sympathetic and empathetic towards people. Like now, I'm never angry when someone like is rude, or like I'm gonna say never, but now I'm usually not angry when someone's rude or something.
It takes a longer. Yeah, because to get to that point.
Exactly. Yeah. And not only that, it's like I know it's something inside them. It has nothing to do with me. Because that's where when you react, you think it's something that, like it's something to do with you, but really it's all something inside them that makes them react this way. It's something happened to them. You know what I mean? Everything's connected. Everything is full circle. So once you
that's
know
like growing up.
Yeah, it's like that, and that's what I'm saying. That's emotional maturity. When you realize that, and it's like, you know what? I ain't even mad at you because I know. Tell me, like I want to know why. Like tell me why you're thinking this way.
Yeah, I think about that often because I always like I'm a self-reflective kind of person, and I was a piece of shit human being. Like, you know, at 17 to maybe 20, would you say?
It was bad.
It's like,
you know, Earl will tell you, I think
he would tell me little stories like, man, Steve is like fucking up right now.
Listen, Earl is the one person in my life who's like stuck by me through that and did not have to, because I was a dick to him. I was a dick to his girlfriend. I was a dick to all of our friends. I was a dick to everyone. Not Daphne.
That was a different life. But
I already found myself.
We're talking about like 17, 18.
Yeah, no, it
was really bad.
And the reason why I brought that up is because in those moments, it was never about what other people were doing to me. Like you could be having a regular conversation with me, and little things would set me off. But that's me. Yeah, that's me not dealing with my own things. You know. Right. And that just
connected. Like something started you to act that way. You know what I mean? And then some people never get to that point, and it's sad because they never grow. They're always the same. And it's like, I can't, you know what I mean? Some of those people might be people you love, and you gotta love them from a distance. Like,
you say hurt people.
Yeah, it's like hurt people.
Hurt people. Mm-hmm. Remember that, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I say I tried Molly once, bro.
Yeah.
I never
really liked it.
Now listen, I was so happy. I was hyped. I was so happy. I felt like I was connected to everyone in the room. Yeah. And then for the next 2-3 days, I felt like killing myself.
Yeah, dude. That's why I never really enjoyed it. It was never really.
Bro, like I was at the bakery I used to work at, and I remember I'm here baking. And I have to go to the bathroom because I can't deal with anything. Like I sat in the bathroom and just cried for a bit. Yeah, like I haven't not doing that. We don't do that to me. Yeah. He was like, "Fuck, what I do to myself." Fuck that Molly shit.
I'm not
fucking crazy drugs, bro.
Yeah, I'd much rather stick with stuff that grows out of the ground. Unless you purposely fuck with it. Yeah,
I'm very strict on it. Like I would never do coke, anything harder like heroin. None of that. None of that. I'm sure I would love it. I'm sure it feels amazing. I
would love it.
Yeah, I mean, people are addicted to it for a reason.
People try it for a reason. I'm like, you're crazy to think that they're trying it because they hate it.
Selling drugs is easy. People are addicted to them.
Yeah. It's like, no one wants to do cocaine from the get go. But once they do cocaine, they want to do cocaine because it addicts them. That's an addiction. It's like, oh shit, I gotta chase that feeling at all times. That's
so much better than being sober.
It's like fuck this shit.
I have bad knees. I don't need to be chasing.
That was my mentality when I was drinking.
I have bad knees.
That was my mentality when I was a big drinker. Like I was like I needed to be drunk was way better than being sober. It would be like a Tuesday at 11 and I'd be 11 a.m. and I'd be 10 beers deep for no reason.
Dope.
I'd be like, what? That's dope. I'd be like, what? And I'd be on the roof. And I'd be on the roof of my fraternity house like an asshole.
What are you doing up there?
They frown upon that. They're like, yo, if you're drunk, don't go on the roof, guys. And I'd be like, suck my dick, nigga. I live in this house, nigga. That would be my shit. Like, I live at this house. I pay rent. You don't live in this house. I'm taking this the hit right now.
Like, you're drunk. Get down. Yeah. Like, no, I'm not drunk. I'm proud.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a proud fraternity member. Get off.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's crazy to know that you went through all of that. You went through everything.
And the moment I pledged is basically when my life kind of changed because it's I was drinking more. I was interacting with girls more. You know what I mean? I was having sex with girls more. I was experiencing life, and that's why I ended up dropping out because that became more important to me than classes and stuff. Because it was the first time I was having actual a lot of fun in college. So I was that became more important to me, and also because I feel when I physically sweat or bleed or cry for something I hold on to it more. You know what I mean? I care about it more rather than class. You know what I mean? After a while, because I finished all the creative writing classes, so after all those classes, it was hard for me to care about school. When I was in the fraternity or whatever, I cared about it because I went so hard for it. So I'm gonna go hard about, you know what I mean? And I loved getting to know all the guys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's
that's cool though. At least you had that college life.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's pretty dope. I would not go back and read anything. So I would do exactly the same because I love who I am now.
I'm always a big believer of you should never regret what you go through because everything happens for a reason.
Never go back to the carpet store.
I want to say you could tell. You could tell that you love yourself, man.
Yeah.
And that's, slowly, that's surely.
Sometimes I know I should, but sometimes I don't know, and you know what I mean. That's the battle. You know what I mean. Every day's an up and down. You gotta do it day by day. Because if you think about the grand scheme of things all the time, you're gonna lose yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta take it day by day.
It's good. It's good to go through that situation where I've been there. I've been there many times where I'm I hate myself. I don't like myself, and then you just eventually figure shit out.
Yeah, exactly. You figure out what parts you do like about yourself.
Yeah, because in the beginning you think it's the end of the world at all times. It isn't. It really isn't. It's just every fucking moment is just a learning lesson in life, and you just go through that. And then here being you 25, me being 26 next week,
right?
You know, you're an adult now, and you just thinking about it how am I going to be at the age of 30, 35, 40? Looking back when I'm that age, I hope rich, famous, something. Not too famous, but
the Jashi.
Yeah, I'm good. Just being really good. But I think positive now because of what I had in the past. Right. But I feel in the future, I can't wait to know what I'm gonna feel like in the future, and looking back in the past and saying, shit, this was kind of like this start. This is like the fire that started everything, and that's why I enjoy doing the podcast. Right. That's why I enjoy making music, and that's why I enjoy doing this thing with you guys, and especially Mirrors. It's awesome. I never regret it ever. And I know you're petting that dog like it's like the best thing in the world.
Well, she's coming to me. So now I'm chilling.
She likes you.
You gotta let them just come to you. They'll be alright. See what I mean? Patience is.
And I think that's the perfect end to a great episode, if I do say so myself.
I agree.
Do the snippet at all or no?
We're gonna do it.
But before we do that, stick around to the end of the episode. But I'd like to remind you that this is the Bronx Project podcast, and I'm your host Miras.
And I'm your host Earl Grey.
This is Jashi, man. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to the Bronx Project. Shout out to Earl Grey and Miras. Check back in next week for another episode.
And we'll have Jashi's information down in the description. So look out for his music, and stay tuned. We'll be playing his song right now.
Yep, right now. And like he would say, make room for the Yeti.
See you guys next week.
My chest is dead, what don't you get? Poverty keeping me vexed. Damn, no sleep is leaving me stressed. Jashi and Sharpie all on her chest. Depressed, feeling it out through my flesh. I see raisin marks other than protects. Hold up, put a beat on, watch the mood switch. Yeah, one look, make the mood glitch. She smacks, sending them new pics. Ignoring them, working on blueprints. Steady searching deep inside. Releasing all this in the pride. Insomnia and violent nights. Damn, this bag is stay under my eyes. Fuck it, yeah, I'm realer than them other guys. Tuning live just to watch me die. See the wounds and I will not hide. Nigga, let me breathe, nigga, let me cry. I do all of this shit by design, and they treat this shit like it's a crime. It's the only way I can provide. Gotta